First opened in 2017. There's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2018 draft, the Oklahoma Sooner, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and he is going to have the Bucs first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with White. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. This is White on the screen. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
And that's a gutsy call there on 3rd and short, because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Mayfield's throw taken in by Evans here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They run the draw play. This is Wayne. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Mayfield to Evans on the slant. And they'll work this down inside the 30. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. To throw, Mayfield. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. That is first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
3rd and short yardage. Mayfield. Able to find the open man. That's complete. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the red zone now, Mayfield. This is caught. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Mike Evans as the first half is winding down. And the Bucs have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the first quarter before we spilled into the second, and finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's Mike Evans who caps it with a touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And you know how scouts always talk about checking all the boxes? I think this young man does exactly that when you're looking for an NFL quarterback. Proven leader. Teams went 43-6 while he was in college. Has speed, dual threat ability, and production off the charts while he was in school, and also did a nice job of limiting turnovers. When you put it all together, there's a lot to be excited about for this young quarterback.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This has been a hard-fought battle thus far. Just the one touchdown to this point is still anybody's game at 7-0, as both of these defenses have been out there trying to one-up one another.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Just the one touchdown in that first half. 7-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
They'll start out here with the option left. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Ritter now on 2nd down. This one into the hands of Pitts. Look at the big fella go. Kyle Pitts, touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And we are tied at 7. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And we shift to spotlighting Mike Evans. Previous series, definitely a focal point. 3 catches, the touchdown grab. As a DB, or former DB, is there a number of catches on a drive you're like, oh, he got the best of us?
I'm not sure there's a number, but there's a great feel. And what he did on the last drive, yeah.
Especially with a touchdown.
Yes.
You're never happy.
You're exactly right. The way he capped it off, so you feel that at the sideline, and now you're looking at your buddies and saying, okay, what are we going to do to take things away from him? Because I'm not sure the other guys can make those sort of plays. So let's make sure that we don't let him get going again.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. 7-7 is our score. Pretty even matchup so far as we start quarter number 4.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Baker. Now be taken in downfield by Godwin. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. They'll go up the middle with White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. They go with White on the counter. And this is going to be back-to-back tackles for a loss here as the Falcons defense yet again drops him behind the line. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the long field goal, you could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And that's not going to help a whole lot. Maybe 4 yards on 1st down. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
So the Bucs going to have a chance to go down and win it. They'll get the ball first here in overtime. From the end zone, here's Devin Tompkins. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9. Mayfield finds White.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2. Running out of the gun with White. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. They go with the ground game, pick up the first, now in plus territory.
And that changes the whole mentality of a play caller, doesn't it? Once they cross the 50, they feel like they're in the strike zone. All right, you don't have to be in the red zone to take those big shots downfield or go after the end zone. Right now, that might be available to them.
And now this first drive in OT continues. They go right back to White here on 1st down. Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he'll take this down to the 33. They've had some success here in overtime of this opening drive running the football right back to that well.
And why not? When you have that kind of success, make them stop you. And until they do, keep going back to that well you just spoke about. I think there's more water there and available to them.
Overtime with 2 minutes to play. We are in sudden death, but still all tied up. From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 6. Now a give up the middle. This is White down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So a big play in this opening drive of overtime. Now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. He did not have a catch till that moment. Pretty good time for his first one, though, here in OT.
I would agree with that. And just think about how they had to cycle through all the play sheets, right? Tried to find ways to get a lot of people the football. In this case, as you said, he hadn't had a catch all game. Now they find him in a key moment. Really well done. He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Second and 6. Now back to the ground game with White. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Here's White. They set up the screen. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And the kick is good. And finally, this one is over. We thought it may never end, but that kick puts the exclamation mark on it. So they do get the short field goal here to get them the all-important overtime lead. But, Charles, you wonder if they'll wind up ruining the fact that they were able to get down into the red zone, yet not able to find the touchdown that would have won them the game.
Brandon, you're absolutely right. In overtime, when you get the ball first, the hope is your opponents never see the football. But now they're going to get a drive to try and win it, or at least keep the game alive with a field goal. And I'm getting a dictionary out to look up ruining.
So only a field goal on that opening drive of overtime. Will that hold up? We'll find out as the kick's away. Patterson going to bring this out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line. He's dropped at the 23. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, it's pretty simple now. They need a field goal out of this drive to extend overtime, or obviously, Charles, a touchdown to win it.
Yeah, I'm taking the defense's perspective on this one, partner, because now they know with a 3-point lead, they can afford to give that up because you just keep playing, right? Overtime gets extended. But if you give up the touchdown, it's game over. So on offense, every play you make, you've got to try and get just a little bit more out of each one in order to try and get to the end zone, because they're going to play everyone back, keep everything in front.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Ritter. That's caught by Pitts. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Ritter wants to throw it. London hauls this one in.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now Ritter. To the right side and complete to Jefferson. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Ritter. That's caught left side, the tight end Pitts. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak Take him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And a timeout now here in overtime with 4 seconds remaining.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Pay attention.
So on 4th down, Ritter heads to the sideline. Kwai gets set for the Atlanta field goal. This to potentially get out of here with a tie. And he got it. It's good. They answer with a field goal of their own to send this game into sudden death. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I cannot imagine how these players and coaches feel, Charles, because my palms sweating up here in the booth now as we go to the 3rd drive of overtime. And as we know from here on out, any points win this football game.
I'll throw you a towel as well, partner. I've got one for myself, but let's face it, our nerves, our pressure, nothing compared to what's going on that field. Both of the field goal kickers active here early. Can one of them become the hero and end this thing?
That's complete to White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. White, he'll try the left side. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. What the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's 3rd and 3. Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it. And they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll start with the option. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now a throw on 1st down
tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Back to throw, Ritter. Buying time to his left. Ritter slides down, and he has enough for the first.
Well, that turned out better than most of the passes he could have thrown on that snap. The coverage downfield was excellent, but the containment close to home left him a backdoor escape, and they paid dearly for not locking up.
So the OT clock hit 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he stopped immediately there.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Second and 10. Robinson with another carry.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Younghoe Koo, all eyes fixated on the kicker. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And the kick is good. And finally, this one is over. We thought it may never end. But that kick puts the exclamation mark on it. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.